Welcome back to Studio F. On Fast Times Willy B. We're reviewing An American Werewolf in Paris. Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds.
Rusty, come forth.
Welcome back to Fast Times Willy B. I'm Willy B. I've got Dustin with me here for the second American Werewolf installment. Now we head to Paris. Directors-wise, we got Anthony Waller. Cast-wise, we got some familiar faces. Tom Everett Scott. He was the teacher in the Scream series, I'm pretty sure, on MTV, if I'm correct. He was in the Scream. Yeah, but he's older. Yeah. We got Jolie Bowen, who Modern Family fans would probably recognize, or Happy Gilmore fans would also recognize.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got Jolie Delpy, which if you're a fan of the Before trilogy from Richard Linklater, you would know her. I don't know if
acting chops.
any
in
of these
those movies.
Yeah, in those movies. I don't know if any of these people are known for this movie though. So we'll start with the good, and we're gonna dig here. Where do you want to start with the good?
The good is the fact that there are people being ripped apart.
Okay.
And it is a horror movie. And that it is about werewolves.
They did check all those boxes for sure.
Yeah.
I'll say one scene I liked, and it's probably the only scene I would say I liked. The cemetery scene.
Yeah.
Where he's like getting it on in Jim Morrison's grave with.
Oh, that's right. At Jim Morrison's grave. That was the most, like, I mean, it's not random because, like, yeah, I guess it's there in France, whatever, but, like, that's just such a 90s thing for them to think about having sex on Jim Morrison's grave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's a random part, but that's where we get his first transformation and the chase scene, and then she gets taken out, and yeah, that's the good. It's in Paris. You know,
Yeah.
they got that right.
There's, I do like, not the score, but the some of the songs that were in the movie. There's a lot of, like,
Yeah.
good, like, I don't know, I'm sort of nostalgic for, like, the new metal and, like,
Yeah.
you know, the late 90s, you know,
It felt
stuff
very
like that.
90s in that way.
Yeah, for sure. There's, like, good industrial sounding
Yeah.
stuff in it.
The one that stuck out to me was "Walking on the Sun" by Smash Mouth.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Might as well be
Oh my
walking on
God.
the sun. Down, down, down. Yeah.
As soon as I heard Smash Mouth, I was like, this movie is going to be a quintessential 90s movie.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, late 90s.
When that started, I was like, oh, okay, we're back in.
Yep. Yep.
But yeah, some of the chase stuff at the end is cool. I mean, it's definitely the most tension you feel in the movie is when they're in the caves after the Independence Day party gets, you know, kind of crashed by the cops and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. And okay, which reminds me of another good. The whole group of werewolves, like, banding together and using their curse, like, they have, like, an agenda that they use their curse for. That's a cool concept.
Yeah.
I really like that in
Yeah.
concept.
I'd say cool concept. Don't know if it was done perfectly, but
Right.
definitely no. There was a lot of things like in this movie that had potential.
Yeah.
Just not all the way cashed in at
Right.
a lot of the moments. I'm trying to think if I have anything else in the good. I don't know if I do.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is one that falls in the stinky category, but we can hop over to the mess. We won't talk about things we thought were absolutely bad. This is things that we kind of were like, on.
Yeah.
What do you got here?
Uh.
I'm gonna go with the romance.
Okay.
Because like the first one, we get, you know, a little bit of a connection between the American and somebody that is from our location in this movie. And there's moments where I'm like, I'm digging it. I'm cool with, like when they're saving each other in the caves and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But then I think back to like how they met. Then I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't love the bungee jump save scene. I think it's
Right.
really corny and unrealistic,
So unrealistic.
unfeasible. Like, um, but I can get behind everything that comes after it for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
The cafe scene's pretty rough too, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, the heroic aspect of like really all of the main dudes like is just so like so they're like superheroes.
mhm,
Like that's a pretty meh thing for me, I
yeah,
guess, is like she owes him something now because he
yeah.
saved her life like that, and I don't know.
I
I
think we
don't
might just have to
know.
jump to the bad category. I think we're
Yeah.
struggling right now. So we'll hop to the bad. The werewolves, like the look.
God. Every
Ah,
time every time they were on screen, completely taken out of it.
yeah,
Like I'm just like, come on.
yeah,
You like do more with the shadows or something.
yeah,
Do more implicative stuff. Like if you're I don't know if it was a budget thing or if it was this is the technological we're on the cusp of this technology of CGI right now, so we're gonna set the bar forward just like the first movie did in the 80s
yeah,
with its special effects. We're gonna set the bar forward in the late 90s and have CGI that's out of this world. And
yeah.
that's probably what they tried to sell it on. But my god, it was a hot turd.
Yeah, this is one of the products we get from Jurassic Park pushing the pin forward with
Mm,
computer generated effects.
yes.
And unfortunately, there was a lot of movies in the late '90s that couldn't match what
No.
they did. Um, you know, The Rock and Scorpion King is something that comes to mind too.
Oh man.
But yeah, this was rough. CGI was bad. Transformations bad. Werewolf look, like you said, it just takes you out of the movie every time you see them because when they look as fake as they did, it just loses the scare.
Yeah.
There's, that first movie, you see that wolf and you're like, especially like you said, the subway scene, you just see like it creeping up and you're like,
Mm-hmm.
holy shit. This one, it just didn't do it for me on the wolf aspect for sure.
Right.
Um, Writing, definitely in the bad. This movie is bonkers.
They probably had 17 people write this movie. Like,
And the fact that it got greenlit, but
yeah,
I mean,
by name alone.
yeah, for sure. But the the bungee stuff at the beginning, to the cafe scene being a wreck, to everything going on in between, and then at the end, they bungee jump again and he catches the ring again. That would never happen.
I would just like to point out that they took the time to, as far as it looked, I don't know, I didn't do my research, but it looked like they actually kind of filmed some of it at least at the
Yeah,
actual Eiffel Tower location, which is cool. So they had it in the budget to film a scene at the actual Eiffel Tower, and it was a stupid heroic scene that didn't even involve a werewolf at all.
yeah.
There were no werewolves killing people on the Eiffel Tower. That was a huge
See,
opportunity missed right there.
when they were hiding and something was coming up the stairs, I thought we were going to see our first werewolf.
Right, exactly.
Instead, it's our
Yeah.
lovely female love interest
Mm-hmm.
who's,
Mysterious.
yeah,
Yeah.
to say the
I
least.
mean, I guess she is a vampire, but she wasn't informed. Nothing cool was happening up there. And as soon as that scene was over, I was like, if this is like an omen for anything to come in the movie, like this is just gonna be thumbs
Yeah,
down.
yeah. Um, just a lot of the dialogue's rough. A lot of the scenes we just get, I don't like the restaurant scene where he meets. I can't think of her name, but the girl he ends up sleeping with at
Oh yeah,
Jim
yeah,
Morrison's
yeah.
grave. Like that scene's kind of weird and
Oh
out
my
there. And
god, he's like sniffing her and like it was, yeah, it was sort of like again a product of like the late 90s like wild like uh I don't know, like crash TV culture
yeah,
that was going on back then. Like he's like sniffing up her skirt and stuff like
yeah,
and like the music, again, I said I liked the music, but like it was all over the fucking place
It
in this
was.
movie.
It
Like
was.
just like as a stark contrast to the original movie, which was very selective
Yeah.
in what songs and didn't even have like a score
Yeah.
in the movie. This was like crazy chaotic track after crazy chaotic track after like stupid comedy cue score thing right here, crazy chaotic like
Yeah.
industrial heavy metal song, like
Just all over the place. It's a mess. It's a mess of a movie. Um, I do have a question, and I want to know if you. So, before they get married at the Statue of Liberty and jump off that,
yes.
and um,
Also another missed opportunity, even though that probably wasn't actually at the Statue of Liberty.
probably not. But why is she not aware? Because it says several full moons later. Why is she no longer a werewolf?
That was also something that I didn't understand either.
Because he ate what's his face's heart, and that's why he's no longer a werewolf.
Right. I feel like it kind of ping-ponged around the entire movie as to who exactly made him a werewolf.
So are they insinuating that he was actually the leader and made her a werewolf, or is that just another plot hole?
It might be a plot hole
Okay.
because I'm still confused about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like I shouldn't be.
Unless
Even
they
if-
figured out the serum. But
Yeah.
they
Even
didn't
if they
show
said
that.
it, they didn't write it right because I don't remember.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Yeah. That was just, yeah. It's just compared to that first one, it's nothing.
No.
Compared to that first one.
It was a cash grab.
It was. I mean, it's just they threw An American Werewolf in front of a location and said it's a legacy sequel.
Mm.
And honestly, I think it's a slap in the face to the original.
Yeah. It really is a slap in the face to the original because the original is well thought out and it was like commentary, like social commentary
Mhm.
and stuff. And this would like, there are certain things from that make its way over in like certain themes from the original that make its way into this new one. I mean, it again is an American werewolf in Paris, you know, and so like he still kind of has like the goofy
Mhm.
quality, like the goofy like happy-go-lucky qualities that David had in the original movie, but I think it's even more heightened
Yeah.
in this movie too, and
Yeah.
it's just like out of this world, like somebody killed
Overkill
this guy.
almost. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. For sure. Yeah, unfortunately, I would say, like I said in the first one, most of it falls in the good. This one's the opposite. Most of it falls here in this bad category.
Yeah.
I want to say there's technical things too, but I really didn't like the way it was shot. The scene where they have the club, the first lunar club night or whatever, the charity, and where his friend Brad gets killed.
Mm-hmm.
The scene where the werewolves like evolve and start eating people. I hated that scene because they're just jumping around the light. It's like it was hard to watch. It was like sensory overload.
On paper, it was probably like this is gonna be so fucking cool. Like
Yeah.
they just like trap everybody in with all these werewolves and everybody's gonna be ripped apart and that's cool. On paper, that sounds pretty fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they
You
just
don't see anything because the lights are just flashing,
right.
and then all you see at the end is just body parts.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, this movie's not doing much for me.
No.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's a sneaky one. But
Yeah.
anything else in the bad that you want to throw out there?
How much time you got?
As much as we need.
I feel like I could keep finding things,
Yeah.
honestly, but there's quite a bit, and I feel bad for, because I saw Before Sunrise. I didn't see all the movies, but like I can't remember what's that actress's name?
Jolie Delpy.
Julie Delpy. Yeah, okay, like she did so good in that movie.
Yeah.
Where like this was such a step down for her.
Yeah.
I'm sure she was like, "Oh, you know what? It'll be fun to be in a horror movie for once. Like, let's do it. Buckets of blood. Hell yeah." You know, I could see that.
Yeah.
But it was just a shit show, man.
Yeah.
Like, I felt bad for her.
Thankfully for her, Linklater came and wanted to do more before movies.
Yeah.
To help her legacy. No. Yeah, this was a rough one to watch, but at the end of the day, it wasn't the worst movie I'd ever seen. So
No.
there's something to say about that.
Mhm.
we can hop over to our final thoughts and ratings. I do want to backtrack while we're here in the final thoughts. I did, again, enjoy the undead part of the movie.
Yeah.
Like when we get Brad and when we get the girl he laid in the cemetery.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's probably the best comedy we get in the movie.
Yeah, definitely the best comedy, and it is cool that they kept that aspect of the whole like shaping of the narrative.
Yeah.
They kept that from the original movie.
Yeah.
Carried it over. Yeah, like his dead friend telling him, "This is what you got to do. You got to kill yourself. You know, whatever."
But score.
I feel like I'm being generous, but I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 10.
Okay. I was interested to see what you're gonna say after you said being generous. I'm going 3 out of 10.
I was gonna go 3, but
yeah,
just because like
for me, if 4 is bad, 3 is very bad, and 2's terrible. I didn't think it was. I didn't think it was terrible. There was moments where I could, enjoy it, but it's still a very bad movie at the end of the day.
Yeah. I feel like I'm giving it a 4 just because it's a werewolf movie.
That's fair. I mean, it does a good job at, there's much more body count in this one, I guess,
That's true.
The cave scene's not all bad. Like I said, I enjoy the undead stuff, but there's just, when I say it's a mess, that's what this movie is at the end of the day. It's a cash grab mess.
It's a slaughtered lamb.
Yeah. I love that. It really is. I have to fill in the thumbnail. Is this just a slaughtered lamb? It's not pretty, and it's probably why when I was looking at the filmography of Anthony Waller, he doesn't have much of it in this. So
no,
and unfortunately, it was probably a one, and opportunity wasn't quite fulfilled. I did see that his direction style, he loves doing the flashing light thing, and I was like, that's probably not a good thing, because I did not like that scene at all.
Shout out to a cameo appearance by Scott Stapp of Creed.
When was this?
His buddy in the movie, who like has his shirt off pretty much the whole time, or is in like a tank top.
That was him?
No, it looks just like him though.
I was gonna say I looked at the cast and I can see it.
Put up a side-by-side comparison of
I
Scott
can
Stapp
definitely
from
see it.
1997 or whatever, 2000.
Yeah.
And this guy, it's the same. Pull up the My Sacrifice music video specifically.
I was like, I can see it, and so then when you said that, I was like, did I miss his name when I was scrolling through the cast list? I was like, that's crazy. I was like, that not good for him. No.
Which he was like a badass in this movie.
Yeah.
His buddy, like he's like doing parkour to get away from the legless werewolf.
Yeah. Yeah, he like jumps over the door and then he leaps full dive through the window. And then when he gets off the cross, he's like, yeah. He didn't have much of a story though.
No,
he was just there.
No. They were like, we're gonna be cast as superheroes after this movie.
Yeah. And then Brad's gone pretty quick. But yeah. That'll do it for An American Werewolf in Paris. Dustin, thank you for coming on. Thank you for sitting through this movie to review it with me.
Hey.
Tell Ray I said I apologize.
It was a pleasure.
I'll apologize.
Yeah, my partner told me that I needed to apologize to them for making them sit through An American Werewolf in Paris. So sorry, Ray. I love you.
I'll send my apologies as well. But thank you all for watching. If you like what you're watching, check out some of the videos. Hit the subscribe button or follow the social links down below. Let us know what you think of both American Werewolf movies. I kind of feel how we're going to feel about them. But yeah, we'll talk to y'all soon. Peace.